Hello everyone, I'm Shannon Kelly, Social Media Manager at the Toronto Real Estate Board.
And I'm Jason Mercer, the Toronto Real Estate Board Senior Manager of Market Analysis.
Now Jason, we are wrapping up March and the first quarter, so what was the handoff like from March to April in terms of sales and price?
That's right, Shannon, and we're on the cusp now of the spring market in the Greater Toronto Area, and so it's important to note that we did see a strong handoff from March with positive news both on the sales front and the average price front. So if we look at sales first, we saw quite strong year-over-year growth in the number of transactions through the Toronto MLS system to over 8,000 deals. And it's also important to point out that the sales growth that we experienced was really widespread across both home types and geography in the Greater Toronto Area.
Before we go on to price, what was the underlying key factor in terms of sales growth?
Well, it all comes down to affordability, and if you think about how the average household in the Greater Toronto Area purchases a home, they do so through the use of a mortgage. And so calculating affordability or considering affordability from their perspective involves looking at what share of the average household income is going towards mortgage principal and interest, property taxes, and utilities. And while that share has increased a little bit over the last couple of years, it still remains well below the 39% ceiling set out by the federal government.
Actually, that's a nice segue into price. So if I'm not mistaken, the pace of price growth really remained quite strong last month.
That's right. We continue to have the situation in the GTA where the supply of listings is constrained, yet we're still seeing a lot of households looking to buy because of that positive affordability situation that we've already discussed. So the end result is strong competition between buyers, which serves to exert strong upward pressure on the average selling price. So in March, for example, we saw the average selling price up by almost 8% on a year-over-year basis, with that average closing in on $560,000.
Now, did we experience strong price growth across all major home types?
We did. So if you look at the low-rise segment of the market first, so single-detached, semi-detached, and townhomes, those segments of the market have seen the most competition between buyers because that's where we've seen the real shortage of listings. And so certainly that's where we've seen the strongest price growth on a year-over-year basis. But it's also important to note that the condominium apartment segment has remained quite resilient as well. And so while we're seeing a lot more listings there relative to, say, for singles or semis in the GTA, we have seen enough interest on the part of buyers to continue to see price growth above the rate of inflation.
It sounds like we're all ready for the spring market, and you can still connect with us in the meantime on Twitter at TREB Home, as well as on Facebook. And from both of us, have a great April.
Brought to you by GTA Realtors.